So, we have one more thing to talk about today, and
Except it's many things.
it's actually many, many things. But we are talking about our Steam wish lists. Um, Not just about wish lists as a general concept. We were actually going to talk about some of the stuff that's actually on our Steam wish lists, because it is, I think, the one platform, or one of very few, that we both use. So,
I mean, we both have Epic, but mostly for free games.
mostly for the free games, yeah. And you don't use GOG very much.
No, I
even though,
don't.
even though I do, but
And I definitely don't use G2A.
yeah, no, I never touched G2A for the same reason. Probably the same reasons you have.
The scams?
That
Yeah.
mostly that.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, but anyway, so I thought that we would take 5 games that are probably the most prominent games that are on our list.
Or at least just 5 interesting games each
Yeah.
of us would like to get at some point.
Yes, 5 that I'm actually interested in. I was mentioning to Alex I probably have 15 on here. Some of them are just little free-to-play ones that I was thinking about getting, and some of them I just want to keep in my head that these did exist at one point, even though I have no interest in playing them. So I'm gonna talk about the ones that actually did look interesting. And I'm going to start with one that has not been released yet, which is the reason why I have it on here. Probably a good idea to mention why I have it on here. Called Lies of P. Now, if you're not familiar with that, Alex, I don't begrudge you one bit. And I don't even necessarily know why I have it on here, because you wouldn't think that this would be the kind of game I'd be interested in. Because it is a Souls-like,
Okay.
from its very inception. It's probably, if you look at it, if anyone is out there looking at it, you're going to say, this looks kind of like Bloodborne. Bloodborne, a game I did not get to play because I didn't have a PS4, so I didn't have the option. But Lies of P is actually inspired by the story of Pinocchio. That would be the P in the story. It's an action Souls-like game set in a dark Belle Epoque world, so it's kind of like a Through a Mirror Darkly sort of a French setting that they're doing here. Guide Pinocchio on his unrelenting journey to become human. You know, the trailers are very much it looks very much like Bloodborne. It's sort of those Victorian era kind of cities that you're going down. Things look very, I guess, what I should say. People look very proper, but also like they live in a very dirty and plague-ridden city.
That's fun.
I have my top hats on, I got my monocles and everything, but also the dead span on forever outside of the walls of this city. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Fun.
exactly. So I have that on there. There's no release date right now. But I wanted to keep an eye on it, so that's the reason why it's on there.
I actually have about 46 games on my Steam wish list. And the reason for that is I try to only buy games on sale most of the time.
Sure.
I try at least 30% off is when I want to buy games, just because it saves me money. But the first game on my wish list that I would like to mention is a game called Timberborne.
I have seen Timberborne, and I kind of know. I kind of figured that you'd be interested in it. So,
So you might see a theme as I go down this list. Timberborne, if you have not seen it, is it's an early access. It's already out. Came out in September, but it's a colony sim, city builder, base builder, survival type game, with the caveat that it is the one and only beaver-based city builder.
mm-hmm.
And it is super cute. It's super interesting. You're building vertically. A lot of these games don't really have you build vertically like that. But everything's wood-based instead of like, oh, I have people and they need to build food and stuff. It's like, yeah, no, you need wood.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you can do stuff with the water. Like, you can raise and lower the water. You can build stuff for irrigation. You don't generally see fluid dynamics in a lot of these base building games.
No.
And I saw this, I don't remember, I think I saw it right around when it came out, and I was like, what?
Oh, yeah.
A beaver-based colony sim?
Yeah, beavers have taken over the world in this, right? Like,
yeah, I think it's post-apocalyptic for humans, but
Yeah.
like they're beavers.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, it's overwhelmingly positively reviewed on Steam. It looks like it will be lots of fun, and honestly, I can't wait to play it so I can have a thriving beaver empire.
They really should have put "start a thriving beaver empire" at the top of that.
Right? And it's just something that looks both silly but actually really well done and fun.
Actually, while we're on the cute animal bandwagon, I'll throw another one from mine on here. Temtem. I have Temtem on here.
So, fun note here, I also have that on my wish list.
Okay, cool. So this is fun. We can see if we have the same things on here. But Temtem is, I'm waiting for it to be less money.
Yes.
That's the only thing. It's not that it doesn't look like it's probably worth it, but it's an investment. But anyway, has very positive reviews for all reviews, recent reviews. If people aren't familiar with Temtem, came out a couple years ago, and it was basically like, imagine Pokemon, but it's not done by the Pokemon folks.
And it's multiplayer.
And it's a massive multiplayer creature creation adventure. And when it first came out, people were actually super impressed. It does not look like we did a cheap knockoff version of this. In fact, a lot of the graphics and the art style, and it looks better than when they did Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like, they look like, it actually looks like they put more effort into it than the Pokemon company did.
Yeah, it's very stylized.
It is very stylized. It has a lot of graphic detail to it. It's kind of cell shaded, like semi-cell shaded.
Yes.
But I don't mind cell shading at all. I've played plenty of games that use it, and I like the style. But I also like that it looks really vibrant, looks very crisp, and the monsters look engaging enough. And I like the idea that it actually did have like multiplayer components to it. Still technically in early access after 2 years. So that's something to be aware of, but they just recently had, I guess, the Arbory Island update, so I don't really know what that is, but new place to visit, I'm guessing. So
yeah, sounds like it. It looks like they also have some like house design you can do, like you can customize your living space as well, which is interesting for a game like this.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I guess it is a MMORPG, and they all have player housing in them at these days, but except for World of Warcraft.
Yeah. But it does seem like the kind of MMO that I would be more interested in, just because it combines more of the Pokemon elements with it, and I felt a little disappointed when I saw what they did with the actual Pokemon games that they came out with in 3D. This, I think, actually predates Sword and Shield, so that's...
It came out in 2020, so maybe around the same time-ish?
I think so. I think Sword and Shield came out by the end of the year. This came out at the start of the year.
Yeah, maybe.
Like
I don't quite remember.
Yeah.
But yes, it is also on mine. I believe I assume it's free to play once you buy it? Like, you don't have to have a subscription?
I don't think there's a subscription.
And I have no idea about any microtransactions in it, so...
That I don't know. They might have them, but hopefully you don't have to engage. I wouldn't get them if they had them, so...
Right.
But anyway. So, there you go. What else?
That does look fun. If it ever goes on deep sale, I hope to get it. And hopefully you and maybe Graveyard can also get it. And if anyone else is also getting it, let us know, because then we can totally all play together, for real.
Yeah, maybe we'll It's on all of our wish lists, so
yes.
When we see it go on, like, I don't know, maybe 50% or something would be good. Whatever, like if it's around $20 maybe, I think I'd be good with that.
I'd be okay with like 25.
25.
If it was $25, I'd get it.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds...
It's not that I don't have the money to buy it right now if I really wanted to. I don't have the want to pay $50 for a game. Generally,
I have a lot of things to play as it stands, so...
Right. Which is why, even though, like, Timberborne is on sale right now, it's like, I'd like it to be a little bit more on sale because I have other games I'm playing right now. Exactly.
I have a catalog as it stands. I would like to put it into my catalog, but I don't need it badly to play it right now.
Right. So for me, my second game, aside from Temtem also, is actually MMORPG Tycoon 2.
Oh God.
I know
What
Spiffing
is
Brit had played MMORPG Tycoon, and I had watched it, and I was like, that seems really interesting. Again, you're going to see a theme with a lot of my games.
Mm-hmm.
It's a single-player world builder game about creating the greatest MMORPG of all time. It's a simulation strategy MMORPG builder. It's a management game. So again, the simulation game is the theme. I enjoy my simulation games. I like
Sure.
not necessarily god games, but I like being able to build towns and build things and have things happen.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was fun. Spiff did a great video where he broke it, I think. But like you can do like, all right, here's a starting area and a quest giver, and you can do all this stuff and then kind of watch the world, and you can ban people for cheating. And I was like, this looks just so meta.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it just looks like it'd be a lot of fun to just play with and see what you can get up to. And like there's different islands, it looks like, and lands you can have. I don't know if you can randomly generate it, but there's different lands, different levels. And you can add different terrain, scenery, buildings, paths, NPCs, networks, and stuff. Then like it does look like as goal, it's like reach 100 subscribers is a goal that's on this screenshot here.
Fun.
And then configure a level 1 region. So that looks fun.
Is it a little bit like, just before you continue, is it a little bit like when they did the video game Tycoon, where you had to build the video games?
No, because this one is actually you've got a map with characters and stuff on it.
Oh, you're in it. You're not building.
You're like top-down world. Instead of like, oh, you've got a team building it, it's like you're making the world and you're seeing the world.
Gotcha.
So that's really neat to me. I was like, that looks interesting. And just like this looks like one that like if I got it, I would probably be like, all right, I want to play this on our stream.
Oh sure.
Because I can be like, all right, what should I do now to absolutely fuck with everyone in this world?
Yeah. That one, Temtem would actually be a good one for us to play on stream. We could just do that together. That would be a fun one.
We could do that.
But the MMO Tycoon, yeah, I was not familiar with that, but
no, it definitely is fun. We can probably link all these games in the description of the video if we want to as well.
Yeah, we probably will. I'll try to put something up for each one too, just so that people can see at least the cover art for each one of these, which is something I had done with like our Save Berry Reboot and all of those too.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I got one on here that actually just came out in December. And so it's fairly recent. It's not really even all that expensive. I didn't know when I was going to get a chance to play it, but I don't know if you've heard of a game called Pray for the Gods.
I have not.
It is not. And note that Pray is going to be spelled Praey. And the reason why it's spelled that specific way is because it's both prey as in prayer and prey as in predator prey. What they did with this, it's No Matter Studios. It has very positive reviews, and what they basically did is they tried to create a Shadow of the Colossus inspired adventure where you have these giant massive creatures that are roaming the landscape, and the idea is that it's all the boss battles basically. The main thing is going to those bosses, climbing up those bosses. The way they describe it here is Pray for the Gods is a boss climbing open world adventure game. You can see where the inspiration from Shadow of the Colossus is, where you play a lone hero sent to the edge of a dying frozen land to explore and solve the secrets of a never-ending winter. You grapple, glide, and grab hold of massive beasts as you fight to survive and return the world to proper order. Very much inspired by Shadow of the Colossus, and considering it's been a very long time since we had one of those, and I had mixed feelings about Shadow of the Colossus. Like, I like the concept, I just didn't finish it. Like, I got the first few, and I was like, yeah, I like this, but it might have been a little sparse. But I'd like to see what a different studio does with the concept, because so few people are trying that. And it looks like it's 30. It's 30 normally. So I'll see. If it goes on sale, I'll probably pick it up. Just because I'm willing to give it another try. I like the concept. I like the idea of the world building. Be interested to see what this new studio, I think it's a fairly new studio, I don't think they've done much else, does with the concept. So there's that.
Cool.
What do you got?
The next game I have is one you actually have played rather
Right.
recently, I believe. And it is Forza Horizon 5.
Yes.
I enjoy a bit of the car games, driving games from time to time.
Mhm.
And I thought it looked interesting, and I have a couple people I know who have played it and say it's good, and I would like to check it out, but not for a $50 price tag. Sorry,
Yeah.
a $60 price tag.
The
Um,
the thing about Horizon as a series I like, and really if you wanted to just try out the formula, because they're very similar in formula, all of the Horizon games, is imagine if you had like a racing game, but it was open world. You know, you
Right.
could go off the beaten path. In fact, there's a lot of times where if you're in like a point-to-point race, you're like, I'm going over the fields, damn it. You just
Right.
run through it, where they don't make you like try to like build up a ton of money so you can get the cool car. You could get it on a wheel spin. You could get a really cool car and you just unlock it. More taking the slog of a lot of racing games out and getting to the fun part of the racing cool cars around the landscape. It focuses more on that, and I appreciate it for it. They also have like environmental disasters in the fifth one, where like
Okay.
you run into the sandstorm as it's coming at you and stuff. But yeah, 5 looks beautiful. It's practically photorealistic if you have a graphics card big enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say that I know the kind of racing game you like. It is not very sim-like.
That's okay sometimes.
What else do I have here that I'd like to talk about? Okay, I have an odd one that came out at the end of last year, and I think the reason I put it on here is because it is odd. Honey, I Joined a Cult.
Another one that is also on my wish list.
Okay, so I guess we can kind of both talk about why this is on the wish list. From the description, it's time to start working towards that ultimate goal of enlightenment, faith, and money. Lots and lots of money. And create, customize, expand, and manage your own cult whilst listening to funky music in Honey, I Joined a Cult. Looks a little bit like Prison Architect.
Which I have,
Okay.
and I enjoyed.
The graphic style, nice, lively, colorful. I just think I really liked the idea that somebody created a game called Honey, I Joined a Cult.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because, obviously you see tons of, again, this fits in with my theme of enjoying the simulator and
It is
those types
that,
of games, and management games a bit. But this one is like, all right, we're going to take that and put a spin on it that makes it a little weird, a little silly. Yes, we'd like you to join a cult.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't imagine what shenanigans. I mean, I have RimWorld, and that one you can have with the ideologies. You can be like, yeah, you're all going to be cannibals. Who cares? And the amount of mods people make for that, where it's just a lot of really fringy content for some of those. But this one seems like I assume, rather wholesome take on the cult thing, and everyone loves hearing about cults. So I imagine you'll get tons of interesting stories out of this game.
I mean, it does look kind of 70s inspired, like from the graphic art style to the fonts.
That's the heyday of cults.
That is, and I mean, just the handlebar mustache that the guy has alone, it seems like it's worthwhile. Got the spiral glasses, got the Illuminati eye above on the cover. All good, all good.
Yes, that game looks interesting, and I would like to also get it when it's a little bit deeper on sale. Yeah.
Not particularly expensive, but I don't need to play it right now.
The next game I have on here that is not out yet, to be determined, or to be announced rather, is actually called Bandit Simulator.
Oh, okay.
It says explore the open medieval world, explore the open medieval world and become a bandit. There's a comma after open. I don't know why. Choose whether you want to remain an ordinary pocket thief or king of robberies. Become a part of a city legend, or plan your robberies carefully, or bet on dynamic gameplay. Be unique, be a bandit. That's all it says.
Be unique, be a bandit.
It's a first-person immersive sim Some of the tags include trading, archery, swordplay, action RPG, gun customization, even though I think it's bows, realistic medieval assassin CRPG. I don't think it's a CRPG. Violent survival FPS. It's a first-person, like Skyrim looking like game.
Sure.
Kind of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Except you can like just be a bandit and rob people and things like that, and
Perfect.
it just looks silly.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous. Like the video I'm watching, the guy just kicked the chicken and it kind of exploded.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. But like you can like steal everything, which is what we all end up doing in Skyrim anyways,
Oh, sure.
or and whatnot. So it's just like this game looked silly. It's interesting. There's a demo you can get right now. There's definitely a guy in the alleyway that just says "not illegal" behind him, who has a fence, obviously.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
So it's just rather interesting as a game, and it just seems like it would be fun for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. I might actually try out that simulator because this does look interesting to me.
Right?
Well, yeah, because I mean, I've played my fair share of like medieval games, but I kind of like the idea of a concept like, no, you're just a bandit this time.
Yeah, you're not the hero.
We're gonna throw out the pretense that you're supposed to be the noble hero in this. No. We're going straight to the to the chaos. I like that.
Yeah. Just straight Robin Hood here.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I will now add it to my wish list.
See, look at that. We've
There we
got
go.
like 3 games together on the wish list that we both want, and then you added a game I wanted.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
I think you're on to your last one.
I am on to my last one. See, I was actually going to mention one I know you already have, which is Valheim, but I'm not going to
I don't
that.
have Valheim.
You don't? Oh,
I
okay.
do not.
Okay.
I've seen it played. It's interesting.
Yeah. But that's actually not the one that I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about Encased, a sci-fi post-apocalyptic RPG. Encased, I'll read the tagline so that you kind of get an idea, but a tactical sci-fi RPG set in an alternate 1970s where an enormous and inexplicable artifact, the Dome, is discovered in a remote desert. Fight enemies, explore the anomalous wasteland, level up your character, join one of the forces in the ruined world. To kind of give people an idea of what this is like old school Fallout. This is like CRPG era Fallout 1 and 2 kind of style. Look, aesthetic, dialogue, trees, that kind of thing. But obviously with modern hardware from a new developer. But definitely inspired by that. You can see the Fallout inspiration all over it. More of a tactical game, so it's going to be a little bit more, XCOM-y, I think, in terms of its layout. Has very positive reviews, came out late last year, never got around to actually playing it. And just mostly waiting for it to be on sale, and, it's hasn't been out for very long, like a lot of these games, so I'm just kind of trying to wait out a little bit to see how I'm gonna like it. But they also mentioned some like Stalker inspiration and stuff like that, so a lot of interesting stuff. More of a tactical RPG, but I do like those myself. So inspired, a little bit more like Wasteland and that kind of thing. But anyway, you have one more now.
There are so many games on here that I would like to get.
Oh my goodness.
What is the last one? I think the last one I actually want to mention is called Atlas Architect.
Architect, okay.
It's not that I necessarily need this game to go on sale. I just haven't really gotten around to getting it yet because it's only $6. It's a creative game where your imagination is your limit. That's the entire thing that it says. It's a casual building, procedural generation, exploration sandbox simulation, top-down, quote-unquote, god game city builder, etc., etc. It's kind of like a level editor, but if you look at it, you just kind of build like an atlas, as you will. You just build out your terrain. So I think it's really cool from a standpoint of like an RPG map maker, for instance.
Sure.
but it's like you can plop down different tile sets and build it in different ways and make it kind of customized. I think it would be actually really handy as a map maker if you wanted to have a really cool looking map
Oh, sure.
of your RPG and you want to build the world in this. I think it would be really handy for that.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I'll actually just pop that on my wish list just so that I
Look
can
at
keep
that.
a tab on it. But
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't think I need it to go on sale as much as I would just like to have a time when I would like to use it.
oh yeah, it's a little bit more of a functional tool set more than
Yeah.
a game, from what I'm saying. Yeah.
Which I think is really neat.
Mm.
But you know, map making is can be fun. Map making can be difficult. But I think with something like this, it could be a lot more fun, and you could just be like, all right, well, I made this map, and then maybe I will make some lore for it, and then go from there. I think it'd be really cool to use this in conjunction with building a campaign.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You see, at first, when you said Atlas, I got worried you meant like Atlas, the game Atlas, which
No.
which was notoriously has very mixed reception since it came out.
I don't think I even know that game.
Oh well, you look up Atlas at some point, and you're gonna see it was that was a thing.
Okay.
That was an attempt at making like an MMO pirate game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but okay, great. So Atlas engine, or no, not Architect. There's an Atlas engine too, but Atlas Architect. Yeah. So anyway, that's a little bit of a smattering of some of the things that we have on our wish list of stuff that we'd like to play in the future. And I'd be curious to know some of the games that you have on your wish list. It doesn't even have to be on Steam if you don't use Steam. If you have Epic or if you have GOG or anything like that, I probably have a wish list on those too of games. I'd be interested to know what you're keeping tabs on to play in the future.
Cyberpunk. I want to get it when it's half off.
It was half off not too long ago.
I know, half off, and I'm willing to spend the money.
Okay. I did realize, like, when they were doing the Epic sale, I think it was half off, and you could have gotten your $10 coupon, too.
Probably,
So
but
you could get it for 20 or
I'm
something.
still waiting for them to iron out all the bugs.
A lot of the bugs have been ironed out, I will say. But no, I get it. You're in no rush.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm in no rush.
All right.